I did it, floor gang. I figured it out. I solved world hunger. But mostly I just got this stream working. Now I must do I want to post this on Discord. Also, how dare you, Aaron? Get on the floor already. It's good that you're sitting with your cat. That's a big plus. But if it's not on the floor, then what's the point? We're hanging out on the floor. All right, I did it. Now I need to post it to Twitter because we got to get all the floor gang people in here. Hanging out on the floor. There we are. All right. Success. I think. So I believe. Hold on. Now I'm so far away from my monitor. I need to zoom in or else I can't see the chat at all. All right. Now we're set up. Now we're good to go. Now I can relax on the floor with a mouse that is just, the cable is just a little too short. Okay. I gotta go through everything here. I'm not up to date on this chat. Ceiling gang, get out of here. If you're in the ceiling gang, you can just leave right now. This is the floor gang, y'all. Bumbleberry, hey Finn, how goes it? I'm doing well. If maybe a little up in my thoughts, which is sort of why I wanted to do this stream. I do have at least a slight purpose to it, beyond needing something to do in the middle of the day and hang out on the floor. But I'll get into that later. Good, I'm seeing lots of floor gang comments, and that's exactly how it should be. It's something I see, I see some people here, I see some comments, and they're wondering why I'm sitting on the floor. And I gotta tell you, if you gotta ask why I'm sitting on the floor, you ain't never gonna know. It's like jazz. You just gotta feel it. Or something. Yes, this is a live stream, Lord Billy. Get prepared. Who took my desk? No one. It's still here. Well, actually, so this is kind of my desk. This desk it came with the apartment, and it's just awkward. Like, if you look at it, the part where you're supposed to sit down and slide your chair in is curved. It's totally curved. There's no comfortable way to sit there because you have to come at it from an angle, and then the rest of your view to the desk isn't straight. So it's kind of awkward. I have a different desk that I use to actually hold all my stuff. Hey, Marshall. Yes, I did mean the floor. Just literally the floor. Jiggity Jack, I've never been so cute, confused yet secure. That's an amazing mood. That is now the official mood of this stream. Confused but secure. We don't know why any of this is happening, but it's very relaxing while it does happen. No, Steve, my monitor is not on the floor. I'm a plebeian who uses a desk. Sit on the stool. I could, but then I wouldn't be hanging out on the floor. Only the stool would. So, no dice. This is a nice floor. Thank you, Kevin. I have wall-to-wall carpeting. What a insane. I'd love it. I can never go back. What's my what's my persona? Oh wait, how's the floor? That's first. Yeah, this floor is great. I did just describe it. What's my persona? Oh, I I don't know. I'm not a furry. I am so not learned about furry culture. I would say my persona is uh a leopard. Just chilling in trees, hunting prey, living in the jungle. That's the life. What a beautiful creature. Oh yeah, that's the banjo, Marshall. It be there. It do banjo stuff. I'm not playing Ring of Fire. Not because it's a bad song, but I'm hanging out here on the floor. Maybe I'll play something later. Quarantine status on the floor. Yep, that is absolutely correct. I'll eventually get through all these comments. Have no fear. Goodbye, Jojo. You're from Australia. What do you do? Oh, that's a good question. Is the ceiling your floor over there in Australia? Or is the floor your floor? It's such a crazy backward fantasy land. Sorry, not backward, just a wonderful fantasy land. Backwards in the sense that everything is topsy-turvy and upside down. I think you got to sit on whatever kind of floor thing you can find. Maybe the real floor is the real floor is the friendship we found along the way, or the floor you discovered. It's a state of mind, less so than actually a direction. Except not the ceiling. Get out of here, ceiling gang. You're not wanted. Here's a great question. What happened to write me a song? Basically, nothing happened. For those of you who have been around this channel for a while, I am notoriously inconsistent with my content. I don't do scheduled stuff, and just creatively, I am not consistent whatsoever, much to my own detriment. I know this very, very clearly. The only thing that is consistent on this channel is late night piano. That happens every week, and it's a reasonably same comfortable format every time. I have lots of series, like I have the dubs, but those can vary really widely. I had Write Me a Song. The silly songs are all kind of in the same vein. So what happened to Write Me a Song? Mostly I don't even think I lost interest in doing it. I really liked the format. But when I was doing it, except for the burst that happened around when I got the shout out from Jack's Films, Write Me a Song was just like a big subscriber loser. Every video, every Write Me a Song lost me like 50 to 100 subscribers instead of gaining me them. So, yeah, it was just like it was hard to put my all into making content that I know is just going to lose me audience. That being said, the people that did watch it very much enjoyed it, so much so that I still get comments like this months later, being where did that series go? So maybe I'll do more. Um, I mean, part of this Q&A is I kind of want to figure out what I want to do with the channel, because I'm having another one of those periods where I don't entirely know what I want to do creatively. It's a weird thing. Sure, I may as well go into that now, and I'll answer more questions after. Um, so yeah, I don't know what I want to do right now. Um, Also, it's like disappointingly sobering that this dumb hanging out on the floor live stream has twice as many viewers as Late Night Piano ever gets. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do creatively. I'm in a position now that I've never been in as a musician, um, where I don't need to panic and worry about money, really. I get enough from ad revenue and from Patreon that I'm fairly secure, which is awesome, and I'm super stoked about it. And when I have that, it makes me less reliant on making content that I know will be big and successful. That's not to say I don't want to make topical stuff, but I don't. I feel less of a. I'm trying to find the right way to phrase this. Less of a desire to pander is the wrong word, but to put my time towards making content that isn't or that is like I know will be successful, or like this is, if anything's gonna be successful, it's gonna be this thing, you know. So I feel less of a pressure to do that now that I have an established channel and I'm not panicking to pay rent. Like now I get to work with sponsors, and I've got another cool announcement coming up very soon, all in that vein of, being sort of a legitimate, it feeling like a legitimate career. Um, so that is all good. Right, Luke Sither, cool name. I'm in a position to be creatively free, which is rare for a creator. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with that, because I, if I'm not super concerned about being hugely popular. I'm happy to remain a niche thing, basically forever. As much as I do want to grow, that's not my main priority. Being creatively satisfied is. So, what do I do then? The one thing that has always fulfilled me completely is just writing original music, which I have been doing. Which is probably kind of why you've seen fewer uploads lately, because I've been putting more and more time towards the big concept album I've been working on, which is so cool. I've written 8 songs. 3 of them aren't even going in. They're not good enough. But the ones that are, they're so cool. I'm breaking new ground. They're challenging musically. Some of the arrangements are just, I love them. They're so big and complex. However, it's not really feasible for me to just do that, because it's not good content. If I were a more traditional musician, writing music and touring and playing gigs and stuff, that would make more sense. But as a creator online, that doesn't work as well as, it doesn't really work as content. It takes a long time to make that stuff. They're not videos per se. So my eternal challenge as always is to try and find out I don't know what to do on YouTube that will creatively satisfy me and also be entertaining for people. What genre of music are the songs? I don't want to say anything yet. I want to keep the reps real close and low down on this. Um, there is a theme in sort of arrangement wise. It's consistent while trying to break molds and do more grounds. So it's not an all over the place album. There is common instrumentation between all the tracks, but I don't want to say what that is yet. I don't want to give hints about what the concept is. I'd rather keep that all under wraps until it's sort of ready to be presented, and then I'll start releasing that stuff. So, um, yes, this is a Novation Launchpad behind my scalp, which I have criminally underused. I just haven't gone through all the process of programming it yet. So, anyways, I'm trying to figure out what to do. Write me a song I really liked. Yeah, I have the stream on ultra low latency, which is totally unnecessary. For late night piano, it makes more of a difference. But for this, I didn't need it. Oh well, I can't change it once it's started. Now you give me your open widget recommendation to maintain smooth streaming. Can I? Maybe it's just a momentary thing. Oh no, stream status poor, like my economic status. Well, it's doing what it's doing. Yeah, where was I? Talking about being all that direction stuff. So I don't know. I don't really have an answer at this time. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, it might have just been a dip or something. Ooh, let's not end the live stream. Yeah. So no answer. I'll try and figure some stuff out. All right, let's do more questions because I've run out of gibberish to say on this topic at the second. I moved up ahead in the chat to keep up, and I'm sure I missed a ton of questions and stuff. So if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. I have no plan for this. I feel that, Marshall. Yep. Do I want to play rock paper scissors? How? All right, let's do it. You get your thought in your mind. I'm gonna give you three. I'll do a countdown for myself. Have you got yours in your mind? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Rock paper scissors. Wait, I did the countdown wrong. Anyways, I did paper. I hope that wins. Especially rock paper scissors. I always played you throw on scissors. You don't do rock paper scissors shoot. That was for cowards who needed an extra second to determine what they were gonna do. My favorite color is green. Love me some green. What's the inspiration for the album? I don't even want to say that. I'm keeping it under wraps. All right, I'm seeing mostly. Oh, there's one rock. All right, we're doing this one more time because I feel like I mostly tied or lost. Everyone ready? Rock, paper, scissors. Hooah! I want scissors. Big old garden shears, these snips. I hope that wins. Oh, I'm seeing way too many rocks. I'm getting stomped in round 2. Ouch. Oh, that's so many rocks. Oh. Well, forever you'll all be better than me at this game of chance that has no skill. But I'm not bitter. There's a question I want to scroll up to. Ooh, what's a fun song that I can play in the banjo? I do have one. I have this might be out of tune. It's also it's gonna be really off because I only have this mic. There's no happy way to make things sound right. That's pretty all right. All right, I'm gonna try and play a song, and I'm gonna prop up the mic here on my knees, but it's not gonna be easy. I actually want to look at okay, it's picking that up. That's probably, I don't know if that's too loud. Well, whatever. We're gonna try it out. This is a song I wanted to play on a live stream on the banjo, but it never quite fit into late night piano because a banjo is not a calm instrument. There we go. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it all out what's in my head. And I'm feeling a little peculiar. And so I wake up in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And he tries. Oh my God, do I try? I try all the time in this institution. And he prays. Oh my God, do I pray? I pray every single day. Yeah, for evolution. Oh, and I say, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? That is the octave. Hooray! I've always wanted to do that in a stream, but I've never had the right format. Meow! Oh, what a great little tune. My banjo skills are really limited, honestly. The banjo is an amazingly intuitive instrument, the way it is tuned, because your open chord is a G major, so you can just bar every 1 or 2 frets up and play every single major chord which just makes stuff so easy. It's very cool. There was a question I saw sometime back, which said, which I don't remember who asked it, I'm sorry, but it was, what is the favorite project? What is my favorite project I've done on this channel? And there's a certain, the stuff I'm most proud of are the really big dubs. So the Futurama opera, the Shrek 2, I Need a Hero. There are a few other ones, but those really, really big ones, those are the ones I'm most proud of, because my strength is not in performance. If you watch any of my videos, you can see pretty clearly that all the instruments I play, I do at a fairly rudimentary level. Piano is the exception, because I played that for a very long time and I studied it at school. Everything else is self-taught and pretty simple. So my strength is not actually in playing the parts, it's in arranging it. It's in the brain aspect of it before it gets out into the recording software. And those big dubs are the best way for me to showcase that and to have fun and to like really put all of these tons of pieces together. That's where I'm strongest, and that's where I have the most fun. So some of the Fallen Kingdom stuff too is like that, where there are these big full songs. Like Take Back the Night is very complex in how many parts it has. So those are my favorite ones for sure. They're tricky to do, not because of the exact, or not because of copyright or anything. The two problems for those are one, sorry, there's really only one problem. Well, I guess copyright's one of them. I always kind of worry about copyright. So that's a concern when I'm dubbing stuff from like Disney movies or major network stuff. That's always a concern. But the bigger problem is I love those big movie scene dubs or big TV scene dubs. But there just aren't many scenes that are good for it. I require such specific prerequisites to be able to look at a scene and to know how to dub it. The Always Sunny Nightman Cometh opera, that's another big one I really liked. But the thing that the Shrek 2 one, the Futurama opera, and the Nightman Cometh musical all have in common, all of them are musical in some nature, so there's that to build on. And there's room to work in it. I could make the argument that I could do a lot of good on Disney songs. I did the Mulan one, but those I've found tend to be pretty full and complete already. It's hard to add stuff to music and scenes that have, I don't want to say overproduced, but they're very produced. There's no ambiguity about it. This was done in, like, so much thought and effort was put in a way that like stuff for TV or for off like not AAA movies is kind of looser. There's more room to play with. It's less hyper produced. So, I mean, yeah. Anyways, that's a great question. Those are the kinds of things I'd love to do more of, but it's hard to find material that's good for it. Yeah, that's exactly right, Nathan. One of the reasons I love dubbing stuff from YouTubers and other people who aren't primarily musicians is because they create a base for it, they create a foundation, and then I have so much room to play with it. So when Jack has made songs, he gets his ideas and his lyrics down, but then like he's not he doesn't have all the the training and the experience that I have in being a musician. He's not going to be adding in, or he doesn't have the facilities as well. Like I have a recording studio at home, so he's not going to be adding in real drums or a trombone or electric guitar and stuff. That's what I can add in. So it's like the best dubs come from there's I need such specific things to happen to make the best dubs, and it's hard to find that stuff. That's the bottom line about dubs. With speech, you can do anything. I keep I keep seeing comments for me to drink water, so I will drink water. Um, Shoot, who's just said this? Goodbye, Jojo. Yeah, the platypus controlling me dub. Right, that's pretty bare bones. There's so much I can add to it. Um, so there's uh, stuff like that is great, but then a lot of great material to dub is just so irrelevant. Like no one's thought about it in 12 years. So those make great dubs, but people don't tend to want to watch them because who cares? So there are I think I've succeeded very few times where I've like made a dub I'm super proud of and I really like musically and it's topical. It's so that's what a dream. If I could make every video like that, holy cow. I'd be a YouTube million guys or at least 100,000 guy. What's my least favorite instrument to play? I love all the ones that I can play. Um, my least favorite ones are the ones I don't know how to play yet. What do I think about Neil Ciceraga's work? He's great. He's a very interesting brain in how he arranges and remixes stuff and just creates his own music. He's very cool. He's kind of I slot him into the same brain category as I do Bill Wirtz and Jacob Collier. All of them they perceive music in a very unique way. That's all just like a little off kilter, and it can be very advanced theoretically. They're very cool. Brass instruments, love them. They're a good time. I started playing trombone a long time ago and then stopped for a long time and have recently picked it up, but not I haven't been like seriously practicing it. Mostly because I'm in quarantine, which means my landlady is also in quarantine, so I can't just blare noise at all hours of the day like I used to in the before times. What music am I listening to in quarantine? I have been listening to the new 5 Seconds of Summer album, Calm. Wildflower is a great tune. Um, what else have I been listening to? Shoot, there was a fusion artist that a friend linked to me. Oh, I can't remember his name, but he's very good. Um, so 5 Seconds of Summer, also Snarky Puppy. Honestly, I haven't been listening to a lot of music because I've been working on my own original music. And when I'm that deep into the headspace of doing my own stuff, I tend to not register outside stuff very much. And then once I'm done creating that piece, then my brain opens up again and I gather in new influences. Yeah, I that was a neat one, Kevin. Thank you for saying so. That dub is very different than all the others. All right, bye, Marshall. Love you. The televangelist dub was different from the rest because it's not a true speech dub. I you know arranged the clips so that they would be in tempo. So it's a different kind of feel. And yeah, and it gives me the space to do a reaction into it. Um, I think I do want to try more of that stuff. You know, I think my main problem is if we have to get real here on the floor. I think my main challenge. Also, I'm getting more on the floor. I think my yeah, I dunked the mic into my mouth by accident. I apologize. Um, my the main thing that I have um, that has been a challenge for me since starting this channel, literally since Steam Tams. Well, that was video number 300, but ever since doing it more seriously, the purest form of my expression is through my original music, and it's very undiluted by. It's not referential. It's not. It doesn't have influences or anything, or like it has influences, but they're in the background. Like nothing is. It's not trying to be topical. It's not trying to be anything other than the best music I can make, and everything on my YouTube channel isn't necessarily trying to do that. It's trying to be funny, or it's trying to be topical, or it's trying to be relevant or entertaining. Um, and none of those are bad things. Just an increasingly awkward angle. Um, None of those are bad things, but my problem is that um, I don't think I've with rare few exceptions, like the Futurama dub. Um, I don't think I've ever really put my full heart, like my full effort, into any of my YouTube videos. Because on some weird subconscious level, it's like my full effort should be reserved for my original music. That's the purest form of what I can do. Um, and then the YouTube stuff is always like, that's the stuff that I do. Um, and even though I enjoy it, like with Write Me a Song suffered a lot from that, where those songs could have been better. Um, it's like, I got the idea across. It's fine. And then I would release it. So I almost wonder if like the if the exact content is less important than me just giving it 100%. Um, Garsh, maybe it is. Maybe this is the turning point, and maybe only I will perceive the difference. I don't know. Yeah. Do I still do film and game compositions? No, not currently. I already don't have enough creative energy to make as much YouTube content as I want while also working on my album. I'm not adding in anything on top of that. There are very few I would consider doing more films and games, but they'd have to really come to me with a good offer for me to say, okay, I'm gonna put something on hold to do this. So it's not impossible. There was one I was discussing at the start of the year um, that may still happen at some point. We'll see. Mild existential crisis. That's exactly correct. Will I ever do more covers? Entirely possible. You just need to wait for my whim to switch. I so much want to have part of me, works really well within a framework. So to have a series of stuff. That's why Write Me a Song was fun to do, because it was very formulaic, which means that I didn't need to think too much from a structural creative standpoint, which is really nice when you are making creative content. If you have to be creative every single step of the way, it's just exhausting. So to have a format to be creative in was nice. It's true. I do want to collab with people. I actually am collabing with, I'm doing 2 collab videos right now I'm working on. But I want to do more. I have a list of people I want to collab with. It's a curated list of people like who I've done stuff with before, or we've talked before, or like they follow me or something. I want to do something. So here's the list. Throw off, and these are all people who I haven't done stuff with yet. There are people who I have done stuff with before that I want to do stuff with again. These are just totally new people. Rattling off names: the Stupendium, Chi Chi, Julia Plays Groove, Lil Deuce Deuce. You know him from Astuff movie. He does all the music for those. Leanna Flores and Reburn. And I want to do a silly song with Value Select. That would be awesome. Eric, great question. So I'm cooking up this new album, and some of the songs I write are not going in it. They don't quite fit, or they're not good enough, or whatever. I will release those to patrons only. Yeah. Miracle of Sound. That sounds vaguely familiar to me, but I do not know. I have never. I don't know anything about Miracle of Sound. Yeah, Charles Cornell maybe. We almost did one a long time ago. I want to say 10 months. It was right when he was starting up, and I reached out to him because there are very few people doing piano dubs. That's a very specific thing. Um, and we never got one off the ground. Maybe in the future. It's my most useful home repair tip. Uh, I admittedly am not much of a handyman. I do a lot of I can do a lot of stuff and make it work, which comes from the background of me not having money to buy new things. So I can consistently repair stuff to be good enough for me, but I think my bar for quality in clothes and shoes and a little home repair stuff, my bar is very low. So I would not take any tips from me. my my home repair tip. Don't expect a lot. There's a good tip. I will say, if anything, being frugal is my good tip. It allows me to do the more I cut corners and other things, the more I get time to do and time and funds to do the stuff that I care about, which is so much more worth it. Um, I would rather be able to do music as a career than you know, there's like if over the past few years I could have spent, let's say, like another $300 or $400 on clothes. Instead, though, I haven't, and put that towards rent or something actually important, so I can keep doing music as a career. That's like one example. That's true, Kristin. I need to learn how to sew, and my mom has offered to teach me, and I just haven't done it. That is one thing I do want to learn. My favorite type of pasta, not spaghetti, I'll tell you that. Um, I forget what they're called, but the little shells, those are great. Big fan. And they could be a varying size. You name a size from tiddly to biddly, and that's a shell that I am into. I am wearing a sweater, Goodbye Jojo. This is a hooded sweater, a hoodie, as some of the youth call it. Spaghetti is just a pain. It's like someone, you know, there are some foods. Okay, we'll say this. There are some foods where the journey of eating them is part of the fun. Um, like artichoke is awesome. You heat butter, you've got your little thing of butter, and you slowly peel off all the leaves and dunk them and eat them, and then you get the heart at the end. Um, that's a culinary journey. I love doing that sort of thing. Spaghetti is just a pain. It's just who gave me these long strands of things when I could have had them in smaller form that is more convenient. Blech. It tastes fine. It tastes as great as other pasta does. It's just my least favorite form of pasta. What's the longest I've taken on a video? It's one you were in, Felix. It was the longest I've ever spent on a video was the Pokemon theme song at the which is the big finale of theme song week. You should see the project file for that. It is bananas. There is a because it's me and 12 other people. And it's just so many lines going on. There's 40 vocal tracks, I think, and literally just arranging those vocals and mixing them to make it sound good. That took a long time. It's not my favorite video, but it is definitely the one I spent the most time on. I am proud of it. That's my favorite pizza topping. It's gonna be meat of some kind, bacon, sausage, all the something. It's just good times. Man, I haven't had pizza in so long. I haven't had so many things in now 2 months because of quarantine. But I have not had coronavirus yet, so worth it. Thanks, Mayo. Yeah, the I like doing big projects like that. I have always wanted to be a channel um, that didn't do daily uploads or anything, and but just to do these big, massive things like once a month. That's my ideal. That's my goal. And I've never done that because that's not a good way to grow a channel necessarily, or at least it's not the way that I set the precedent for my channel. But I've very slowly been transitioning towards that. I want to get there one day. I just need to find the idea of like, what are these big extravaganzas I'm going to do? As soon as I figure out what that is, then I'm going to do it. But I haven't figured it out yet, which is like the most frustrating creative thing. I need to find like one thing that works, and I just have never found it. I mean, besides dubs, but those have their own set of problems. The floor is feeling good, Palcoark. It's wall-to-wall carpeting, baby. Oh yeah, there was a question way back that was um what YouTubers am I enjoying in quarantine? And I will tell you, let's go over to the old, open up the old new tab and go over to the old Fin subscribers. Where's the new? Wait, I'm gonna. Here we go. Um, the ones I have been enjoying lately. First to 11. They're a cover band on YouTube. Um, and they're just. I've never been. I've never been staggered by them, but I've enjoyed every cover they've done. They have great production. Everyone's good at their parts. It's just good times. Same with 21-2. They're like a pop rock cover duo. I love their arrangements. Those are great. On the comedy side, Gus Johnson, Daniel Thrasher, Fairbairn Films, Key and Peele, Donkey. Oh, and Stephen Fitzgerald, who is criminally underrated. He should be way more popular than he is, and you should all go subscribe to him right now. He does sketch comedy at the same quality as the big guys, and he just doesn't have the following yet. Stephen Fitzgerald. If you ever see this, Stephen, I love your stuff. Let me do something with you. I've liked Squizzy's animations. Oh, and Brandon Rogers, I'm a big fan of. Sven Johnson. I think that's the bulk of stuff at the moment. I haven't watched Booger Trial yet, so don't tell me. I have I have heard about Marble Racing. I have not watched it, but I get why it's so popular. Scrolling back to Felix, you just play songs on many different instruments. People seem to like them. Haha. It's very true. You have been blowing up lately, and I'm super stoked about it. I'm so happy to see you getting tons of attention. Um, that's I don't know. It's just it doesn't feel like that's for me. I'm not entirely. I find myself difficult to explain why. Um, I guess beyond. I guess more. I think that for me leans more towards the like the show and the video aspect of it and the presentation, and those are things I'm weaker at. Um, I should probably improve, but I mean, like I would rather. I really love big instrumentation and arrangements and all that, and almost by definition, those kinds of videos are reduced to just the one instrument. So that's less appealing for me. What is my opinion about goblins? Love them. Great little grot snobblers. I have a great fondness for goblins and all creatures of uh, ill repute. Talking ogres, uh, gretches, um, all of them. Trolls. Bang bang boom. How has my D&D campaign progressed? It's going great. We uh, we are in season 4 now. I'm running this campaign in seasons. We just started season 4 a couple weeks ago. Um, and it's just a swell time. Got one or two more seasons to go. The party's at level 12 right now, and we have done 70 sessions. So it'll probably wrap up at like 110, 120 sessions. So I think we'll be done next year. We have continued to play even in quarantine, although now I no longer host it at my house. We're doing everything through Roll20. Milestone experience. I don't. It's just easier that way. How do I choose which nights to stream late night piano? It's just always on Friday evening. Friday evening, 8 p.m. EST. Francisco, I am aware. I am aware that Czechoslovakia no longer exists. That was kind of the joke. Would I kiss a goblin? Wait. Did that say on the nose or in a hose? In a hose. I'm just gonna take that at face value. No typos. Um. Oh, I don't know. If he were a cute goblin. I have considered doing sketches and stuff, Nathan, but I don't think that is my strongest foot. They're fun to do, um, and I like doing them for a reason. Like I did the recent one for DistroKid because they sponsored the video, so that's fun to do. But those to me are more fun to do as something that like every once in a while. That's never going to be my bread and butter. I consider myself a musician before a comedian, 100%. You're very welcome, Maya, about the late night pianos. I I've loved them uh, since their inception, and I'm so glad that people enjoy them as well. What sponsors do I actually use? So I've only ever taken sponsorships from one company, which is DistroKid. I've done sponsored videos for them, and I use them like they were my digital distributor for 3 years or 2 years before they ever contacted me about doing a sponsorship. Like Etoile the Traveler, my EP, was released through them back in 2018. So that's why I was super stoked to recommend them because I genuinely do use the service. That's awesome, Tony. I'm glad. Have I gotten a new drum skin yet, or am I still waiting? I have gotten a new drum skin, and it is great. I've done a bunch of recording with it already for those two collab videos I mentioned. Um, it's an upgrade, which is the way to go. It has a built-in dampener ring slot. So actually, I can grab one of these things. I'm not going to move the whole kit over, but it has a ring slot, and you can slot in these pads, um, which dampen them in different ways. I have two of them, each of different thickness, and they make a world of difference. It's amazing that the exact same drum, it's just the same pillow in it, sounds so much better. So I'm very happy with that. Kevin, that's very, very kind of you. I I think I will. I have nothing for dinner tonight, so I think I will order a pizza. And I'm gonna thank you for that, Kevin. That is an interesting question, Francisco, which I've hopefully corrected my pronunciation on by now. Um, do I think I'm semi-dependent with Jack's film as you recommended me a while ago, or do I think I'm still fully independent? Sorry if it sounds weird. Um, I think Jack has. I still feel fully independent. Um, to answer it right off, I think Jack has been sort of my most wonderful um, supporter who is a big creator themselves. I've gotten shout outs from other people before. ProZD, he's every time I've made a dub of one of his videos, he's tweeted it and shared it. Um, and I've gotten shout outs from bigger people like John Krasinski, and most recently. But Jack has consistently enjoyed my work, and to have gotten the shout out in the content awards video was nuts. I gained 30,000 subscribers in a weekend. It was insane. But I still feel independent. At the end of the day, it is just that, a shout out. So it's not like I'm beholden to the audience that he brought over. I felt that pressure a little bit because that was an unprecedented situation for me. But no, I don't feel obligated to cater to Jack's Films content. Although I do, it's sort of nice to have a guarantee. If I ever dub a Jack's Films video or song, I know that it's going to be well received. So that's just kind of nice to have. One collab will be on my channel, one collab will be on a different channel. I will certainly post about it when those collabs happen. Bye, Mayo. I have not seen the speech synthesis videos. No, I'll have to take a look. That's true, actually. Captain Sparkles shouted me out, which is nice. But see, the difference there is that I've gotten a disproportionately high number of shoutouts from people because the content I make is amplifying theirs. So a lot of the creators that have shouted me out, they haven't really like they found my video neat, I'm sure, or they wouldn't have shouted it out. But it's neat because it's personal to them. Like I did something to their video. That's why they're shouting it out. With Jack, it's different. He's shouted out my videos that have nothing to do with him. So that's sort of the big difference there. He's a genuine enjoyer of my work, as opposed to someone who just likes it when I dub something of theirs. Which I also have no grudges for, and I'm super thankful. I just wanted to be very clear. I'm gonna BRB. Cook up some good questions for me while I'm gone. I have returned. For the questions? Oh, nice. Let's look at all these. Let's scroll up here. Favorite restaurant in Ottawa? Yeah, I too am looking to go out when things are more normal. I miss going out with my dodgeball team after games to various pubs. I am stoked to play dodgeball and go to the pub again. Favorite restaurant in Ottawa? I really like the Green Door over on the East End. It's that buffet place, which just has, and you grab everything and you pay by weight of the plate. Their brunch stuff, like the apple, like the fruit crisp, and all their stuff for breakfast, is amazing. I once dated a girl who went to St. Paul's, which is right nearby, and we went to the Green Door a bunch. Oh, she introduced me to it, and I'm so thankful. Like that's the the main thing I took away from that relationship was the Green Door. You know what? Goodbye Jojo. I have never watched any of the Studio Ghibli movies. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. That's a good quarantine activity. I can finally watch Spirited Away. Is cereal with milk a soup? That question is bigger than me. I don't have the authority to answer that. It's like you're asking me to confirm whether there's aliens or not. Why can't you find coffee crisp in the US? You should be able to. I thought it was an American candy. Hey, we just got 100 likes. Huzzah! Let's get it to 200, floor gang, and I'll take my pants off. No, wait, I regret that immediately. I won't do that. I've never, oh no, the likes are going up. I have never, I have never ever done that sort of thing where it's like, yo, fam gang, let's get this to X likes or retweets and I'll do X. Or just like, because, oh, stop. Okay, too many likes are happening. I'm gonna need some people to dislike this video to balance out the ratio. That's right, I will dislike bomb my own live stream. You wanna mess with me? How many blankets total are in my home? I'm gonna say upwards of um I'd say between 50 and 70. That would be my guess. What's my favorite song that's most outside my regular tastes? That is an excellent question. Let's bust into my iTunes list and go to the various artists. So whenever I like an individual song or just a couple from one artist, I throw them into iTunes and just make them under various artists. So now I have this huge list of random songs. Oh, you know what? Oh, I have just the one. Pocket Mine Rocket. It's from a Bollywood movie. Um, and Bollywood is super fun. I don't love tons of the music, but Pocket Mine Rocket is an amazing song. It's from Rocket Singh, Salesman of the Year, and you should listen to it. It is a banger. Rosemary asks, how do I approach songwriting? Do I stay with chord structure or melody or both? Um, Almost always, I would say, chord structure. I build from a harmonic standpoint, um, and then melodies get added on top of that. Tend to like once I usually figure out harmony and rhythm before I think about melody, which you can really see in late night piano in my improv. Most of it is fairly non-melodic. It's about establishing atmosphere of some kind. I sleep with two pillows, Roshan. I have more, um, but it's too many. I like having as much open bed space as possible. Two pillows is plenty enough for my head. Crazy Eyes asks, are the blankets and rugs on the walls to absorb echoes or is it a stylistic choice? It's both. Um, I like having all this color around. So it's just random splashes of color. Not all of them are super thick fabrics, but even small ones help a little bit. There are denser ones there. Like there is a thick one behind the drum kit, and basically on both sides of the drum kit to dampen echo. The other spots are less important. My immediate office is filled with thick ones because that's where I record vocals. Have you ever been to America? Land of free, home of brave? Jace. I have been to America a few times. New York twice. I have not. One thing I want to do, and I was gonna do this year, and I guess I can reveal it. One thing I really want to do is start going to cons, especially VidCon, and I eventually want to perform at them, like CG5, Charlie Green. Like Charlie performs at them, and I was talking to him about this stuff, or briefly. I need to talk to him more about it because he knows way more than I do. About performing at cons, being a performing artist. I would be stoked to do that because I love performing. I just, as a creator, I still don't, I think, have the audience to really justify that. Like, I fully plan on doing touring. And because half of my audience is in the States, that just makes the most sense. That's sort of the stuff I want to consider when I get to 100,000 subscribers, when and if. Because at that point, it starts to be like, okay, so if I book like a 10-date tour, I know at least that like some people will show up. I played in a band here in Ottawa for a few years. I've run the gamut of playing shows to empty crowds. So I just don't want to do that, even though I love playing shows. Does anyone I know watch my vids besides family? Um, a couple friends have tuned into live streams before, and a couple others I know watch my videos. Uh, no one. I mean, there's no one who does. I like discuss stuff about with regularly. I know some people do watch them. One of the weirder ones was getting an email from the head of the music faculty at my university, who I worked with closely and is a very talented composer, very accomplished guy, Dr. James Wright. He sent me an email recently saying that he watched some of my videos, which made me cringe because I've released stuff. Like when I worked with him, I like that's when I was at the height of my classical composing, I think. That's so like I wrote my symphony with his guidance. Um, and now here I am making dumb sketches. And I was like, oh no, don't look at me, I'm hideous. But he said he really enjoys them, so here we are. Um, how do I learn so many instruments? Do I need a tutor or can I practice with tutorial videos? I don't practice. So I to answer those specifically, I don't use a tutor and I don't practice with tutorial videos. However, I have over 2 decades of musical experience under my belt, so it's easier for me to pick up a new instrument and figure out how it works harmonically and like my fingers have the right muscles to play lots of instruments because they've been doing it for 24 years or something. 23, 22, something like that. Um, so when I learn a new instrument, I just pick it up and start playing, and I play along with songs and stuff. I will do, so Aaron asked, will you do all night, late night piano at 100,000 subscribers? Probably something like that. We did pitch that idea and I liked it. Um, So I want to do something like that. I'd love to do a big charity stream in some capacity. So that's basically the only plan I have for 100,000 subscribers right now is the all night late night piano stream. So at this point, yeah, I would say it's happening unless I come up with something better before then. Which is my favorite blanket? Well, that's like picking between children. I shan't do that. Best metal genre? Symphonic metal. Boom. Done. Actually, I like krautrock a lot too. Rammstein is very cool. I love a lot of their stuff. Would I ever do recreations of my old recreation in the future? Nope. What's done is done. I'm not. I'm not gonna do anniversary dubs of stuff or anything. Are there any piano dubs I wished I had done a full band dub of? Wow, that is a good question. No, I don't think so. It's difficult for me to imagine. I mean, no, I'm just gonna say no. I'm I don't think so. I haven't made dubs I hate. There have been weaker ones for sure, but I don't think so. I think because it's imprinted in my mind so much now when I listen to that dub, it's a piano dub. It's hard for me to hear a full band dub beyond that. Do I believe that being knowledgeable about music is a requirement to appreciating it? Absolutely not. If it sounds good and feels good, it's good. I have no guilty pleasures about the music I listen to. They're like, there's no bad music is totally subjective. There are undoubtedly people out there that Rebecca Black's Friday, that is their magnum opus. That is the one that totally grooves and sits with them. And if it is, then awesome, and they can enjoy it. You don't have to. That's slightly different, but no, you don't need any knowledge about music theory to appreciate music. You can appreciate more things about it if you know what's going on from a technical perspective. But I don't think that necessarily increases your emotional appreciation of music. I haven't heard of a Canadian band called Be Bad. No. Hmm. Neat. Played show with them though. That's rad. Do I love my mom? You bet I do. My red guitar is over yonder. This stream will be uploaded in full to Finwa streaming. Yeah. It's recording even as we speak. Um, I, so the question is, did I take or do I take vocal lessons? Um, I don't take them. I did a few lessons in university with a friend of mine who is a jazz singer. She gave me some tips. Um, and I did musical theater in high school. So I got a little bit of guidance there, but we were in a big class setting. Beyond those things, no, it's just self-taught, just singing a lot. Do I have any pets, Brandon? Nope. Tragically, I do not. I love cats, but my landlady is allergic to fur, so that is nope, not happening. What's the worst video I made? I don't know. There's a bunch of bad ones. Tupperware Remix Party, I do know, though I will admit that I only really know them in conjunction with Ninja Sex Party. But they seem like rad dudes and good musicians. They really, their inclusion in Ninja Sex Party has really upped the quality of the music, I think. Wall Gang. I don't know. What roles were I in musical theater? So I was in my high school years. I was involved in 4 musicals, and I was a different role in all of them. My first one was Bye Bye Birdie, and I was in the chorus, and I was also the bartender. I forget his name. Maud was maybe his name, but that was fun. Being in the chorus is lots of fun. I was then a stagehand for Beauty and the Beast. Then I was a stage manager for My Fair Lady. And then I was Daddy Warbucks in Annie. So I got to be in the chorus, I got to be a lead, and I got to be a lower down member of the crew and an upper member of the crew. That's wild. I sort of got to do it all in those 4 musicals. Um, favorite musical? There's musical culture and musicals. They're like an untapped joy for me because I've enjoyed them all so much being involved in them, and I haven't really done more or even listened to tons of the music. Like Dear Evan Hansen has some great songs. Um, Musical songs have a very specific kind of genre, which I enjoy a lot. Um, as my favorite musical of all time, I went and saw My Fair Lady on Broadway in New York, and it was insane. It was it was nuts. The technical achievements, the acting, and the music. Wow, what a show. I have actually dubbed one of Brian David Gilbert's videos, but I never released it. It's on Patreon in the behind the scenes. It was his Alone in My Apartment. I'm alone in my apartment, that means I can do anything. That one. And I did a full band dub of it and then just didn't like it enough to release it. So go watch that if you are a $3 or up patron. No, there aren't standalone videos of the Q&A jingles. Hold on, I need to get chapstick, y'all. Good thing I keeps it right here. Flushroom Kingdom. That is a great name. Mmm, my lips. They're so moistened. Yeah, you can upload the Q&A jingles as standalone vids. Make them public. I don't care. Get ad revenue from it. Do it all. Am I going to stream forever? Probably not. Probably not for a lot longer. I'm back on the floor, Trevor. I swear, it'll never happen again. How do you build a solid campaign in D&D? That's a big question, Kristin. Um, I will say if there's one thing I've learned, it's that the most important thing about Dungeons and Dragons is that you get the right group of people. In the right group of people that all get along. Sorry, here are your qualifications for the right group of people. You're all friends, like you all get along. Um, that's the most important one. And that you all like you prioritize it at least enough to just like show up regularly. That's so big. Um, some of my good friends I've tried to play D&D with, and they're great people, and I love them, and I love being their friends. But if they're like if they're flaky or if they're not showing up, then it just doesn't work. So if you have friends that are consistent and want to play together and just enjoy it, then you're basically going to enjoy D&D no matter how you cut it. Um, anyways, how do you build a solid campaign? You find out you keep the golden rule in mind, which is that it has to be fun for everyone. That's the whole point. It's a game. You're all playing, so it's fun. To write. I love world building. I love crafting lore and doing maps and all that. Um, I love epic stories, big scale things and all that. But I also know what each of my players like. So the most important thing is to write situations that are fun for everyone. And that can be as big or as small as you want. It can be as zany or as serious as you want. Um, but I would say the best way to build a solid D&D campaign is to know your players. That's the best way to do it, because then you'll know how they respond, like what's going to be fun for them. Like I've been playing with the same group of people for 5 years, which is insane, and I love it. And by this point, I know how all of them play D&D. I know what they find interesting. Like two of them, I have notes in my head and also in my spreadsheets to say don't give them complex magical items. That's one example. Like I know those two people, they're not super mechanics heavy. So those items will go wasted and they'll just kind of stress about all these abilities and stuff they have to keep track of. So it's more fun for them if it's just really simple. So I give them really simple magic items that just boost their numbers, and they have a better time with that. I have one of the guys knows all the numbers and all the stats, so I can give him really weird and complex items, and he'll use them in interesting ways. So, um, and then one of the players, he's ready to get emotionally invested in stuff. So I make sure his character has the heart wrenching storyline or the stuff that demands serious acting because he really loves to do that. One of the other players is a total jokester, so I give him all the gag stuff, you know? As soon as you know your players and you give them what they want, you just have so much fun as a group. We had this amazing session last week, um, the first session of season 4, and oh my god, it was so ridiculous. Okay, so um, one of the guys in the party, our Dragonborn paladin, um, he was told at the end of season 3 that he apparently is not who he actually is. Like his whole life is kind of this facade. So he got given this map by this, an eldritch deity going all that thing. To say like, there's something of yours here. I left or I put it here. It is here. This item, and I think that when you hold it, like when you look at it, you'll remember who you are. So the party has gone and followed this map across the world into this dense jungle, tracking down the map, and they have this one of the guys. He's playing a warforged artificer who has constructed a machine, which is basically a giant cube that flies really slowly. So they were flying their giant cube over the jungle. They found the spot, and then they rappelled down into one of the huge jungle trees to get down to the ground. And I, I had them when they went in. I had them all make acrobatics checks just to land down from the ropes onto the trees. And the paladin, in full plate armor, carrying this huge brass tower shield, crit failed his acrobatics check, and so he tumbled down and crashed from branch to branch, and he landed, and he found himself looking up into the face of a silverback ape. And then there was all sorts of ape cries in the tree around them, and the party got attacked by this huge tribe of apes, and it was absolutely zany because I had half the apes just flinging their own feces at the party, and everyone getting splotched with poop. Um, and it was just the zaniest time. At the end of it, our druid stone shaped the last ape into a wall of stone, or she cast a wall of stone and shaped a 10-foot cube, put the last ape in it. Then she went on top, stone shaped an opening, and took a dump into the hole onto the ape. It was so obscene. So, like, that's a situation that I crafted for the players, like these apes, like this battle where the apes are throwing poop at them, because we had just gone through some serious stuff, and we needed a little levity. So knowing your players and like knowing what they need to enjoy the game the most, doing your pacing, and doing stuff like that, um, that is the most important part about D&D, I think. As soon as you know what everyone likes to have fun with, then you can just write things that are fun for them. And you all have fun, and it's a great time. Yeah, we're playing on Roll20 while the quarantine goes on. Normally, I have everyone over at my place. I have a whole setup. Like, I have an iPad screen out with initiative boards and NPC pictures and stuff. I run it all from my laptop remotely. I've got a whiteboard for battles. We've got grid maps. I have my speakers with all my customized soundtracks. So, like, all my cities, they all have their own soundtracks. All of the environments, like, I have huge playlists for like mountains, plains, jungle, ocean, stuff like that. So that's all going. We've got dramatic lighting. I go the full 10 yards. I love D&D. Well, I think that's about time for me to call it. Thanks for hanging out on the floor with me, friends. Floor gang forever. And thanks to you who donated money. This is not a, I mean, I didn't do anything this stream, so I find that insane. But thank you. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys. Likely late night piano is the next thing that pops up. I don't think a video's coming out before then. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great couple days. Bye.